Hey guys, it's Greg Jones with Engine Builder. We are in Mooresville, North Carolina today, and we're at Harrell Engine Dyno, joined by Pete Harrell. And Pete's been kind enough, he's going to show us around the shop and give us a little tour. So come on and join us, let's go inside.
When you purchase SBI valve train components, that blue and yellow box represents 40 years of industry knowledge, R&D, quality that exceeds OEM standards, and outstanding customer service, as well as a dedicated team, ready to help no matter your application needs. That's how SBI keeps engines humming.
All right, so Pete, we're now inside the shop here, and again, appreciate you giving us some time to do this and check it out. Excited to see around, but first I wanted to just know a little bit more about you and your history in this industry and how you got the shop started, and so tell the folks a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, I'm ex-Coast Guard, and I kind of got into hot rodding a little bit while I was in the Coast Guard. I had some buddies that had some fast cars, and that's kind of contagious.
Yeah,
and that one thing led to another, and I became interested in that stuff and started tinkering. To be honest, the local machine shop where I was from was pretty sketch, and I knew that I didn't know the right way to do it, but I knew that sometimes what I was getting from them wasn't the best way.
Yeah.
So I started kind of trying to learn, and pick up, and okay, and then that led to buying a machine, and then one machine leads to another, and then a decade later you're standing in the middle of the machine shop.
Yeah.
You don't know how it happened, but that's kind of how I got started.
Awesome. No, very cool. You definitely caught the engine building bug, right, so to speak.
Right, yeah.
Well, love to see you around. You got a cool shop space here, and you guys build a lot of cool stuff. So.
Yeah, I'll show you around. We do a lot of turbo stuff, forced induction stuff. That's the majority of what we do, and anywhere from street stuff to way beyond race stuff, so a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
But as far as equipment goes, we usually, most of my equipment I've bought second, third, fourth hand, whatever, and made do with over the years. And but some of it works really great. This is just an old Bridgeport that we use pretty much solely for balancing engines. It's got a Turner crank balancer.
Okay.
I bought that brand new, one of the few things I've ever brought new, years ago, many years ago.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, it's a great balancer, and I don't know why anybody would want to do it any different, because as you can see, the shop footprint is very small, and it's a mill, so you can do
you got everything right there. Yeah.
Exactly. You can do a lot of what you need to do right here in a very small area, and it works fantastic. So, and definitely not the most expensive way to solve the balancing problem, but in my opinion, I don't know why you'd want to spend any more money. This is the best way, in my opinion. Yeah. It's a great machine, and they're great people to deal with. You can call them, and they can help you on all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. I do have a quick-way boring bar that I use sometimes. It's good for quick punching stuff out. I don't use it as much now as I used to, but it is here.
Yeah.
Just a big old mill here that we use for just general whacking on stuff whenever we need to move some metal around.
Yep.
It's a relatively newer addition to the shop here, but it works great.
Okay.
Over here we do our cylinder head and block decking machining on this RMC.
Okay.
This is also an upgrade for us. We used other stuff over the years. I need a way to do it quicker with less training, and this is proving to be an excellent solution to that problem.
Yeah.
And also we had two machines for the way we were doing it before. Now we're down to one machine to do both tasks.
Yeah.
So
that's great.
And we're kind of limited shop area, so that every little bit of footprint reduction we have is a plus.
Well, yeah, and more efficiency. So yeah, that's great.
Exactly. Over here, just an old pseudo valve grinder.
Nice.
Works great.
Yeah.
It's been around the block a million times, but it does the job.
Yeah.
Fairly simple. This is our kind of cylinder head area, I guess you'd call it over here.
Okay, yeah.
This is a Tobin arc. They're actually the predecessor to the Sunnin seat and guide machine. The only difference is the Sunnin has a variable speed head on it, you know, but if you look at the casting, everything is exactly the same.
Yeah.
Now this was one of the first machines I ever bought. I don't know how old it is. It's very old, but it does a great job.
Yeah.
You know? And then we do cylinder head assembly and whatnot over here.
Okay.
This old German lathe, probably come off a battleship or something, who knows? But
Yeah.
It's not something you want for fine, super detailed work, but for a lot of the stuff you need to do around the shop, it works great.
Yeah.
Just make whittling on a quick little piece you need or whatever. So that's, once again, second hand.
Yeah.
Sunnin line home, actually bought this new. Then if I had to do it again, I don't know if I'd do that, because a line home's a pretty simple machine. It would be, you know, a used one works just as good as a new one. The manuals are what matters. If they're in good shape, they're in good shape, you know. But anyhow, I did buy this new, and it's been a great machine. It runs like a top, you know.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
No, the Sunnin stuff's nice.
Yeah, same with Sunnin, rod hone and cat grinder over here.
Yep.
Pretty much, they're in about every machine shop in the country, probably. They work forever, you know.
Yeah.
Engine Quest, your home for new OE type replacement and performance engine parts and cores. For our full line of products, visit enginequest.com or call 1-800-426-8771. Engine Quest, the name you trust for engine parts, cores, and recycling.
CK10, these things are just incredible machines. And you know, what's funny, you know, we're in the middle of NASCAR country, so I know a lot of what the teams are up to. Some of my guys coexist in that world where money's no object, and a lot of times those guys end up going back to rocks when they're honing cylinders. And we have a process that we use to make these alcohol motors seal up and stuff, and it works great. And I'll probably never change this. As long as this thing will crank up and run, this is how I do it.
Yeah.
I bought this from a guy named Jack Tant, who was a retiring older round track guy.
Yeah.
And he got me going on it, and I took, I guess, his experience and added another 20 years to it.
Yeah.
And
That's awesome.
it runs just as good today as it did when I bought it.
Yeah. Very good.
This, and funny, a little fact for you. Jack Tant used to do Dale Earnhardt's motors
Oh, yeah?
when he was doing V6 stuff,
Okay.
right? The Busch Grand National stuff back in the day. This is the home that he would do
Wow.
Dale Earnhardt's motors on.
That's cool.
Well, now it's here in Mooresville, North Carolina. Dale Earnhardt is buried about 2 miles from here, if that,
Oh, wow.
as a crow flies. You know,
Okay, yeah.
just kind of a weird little deal, but
Yeah.
you know, this is that machine. In here, this is just our tear down room where we bust stuff apart, clean it up. We've got a few different solvent cleaning machines in here, 4-tier carts that you see in every engine shop. They're great for keeping everybody's stuff separated. You know, you have a bunch of motors tore apart at one time.
Right.
You got to have some way to keep organized, and these things take up a little space, but they're about the best way we found to do that. You know, you just got to have them.
Yeah.
So everything gets busted down in here. Usually, crank rack that we made works great, and we can roll it around if we need to.
Yeah.
You know, this parts washer here is the recyclable type. You mash a button and it'll distill it back and give you fresh solvent again. Which for the type of work that we do, it's nice because you need fresh solvent because it dries really well and you can go straight into assembly and gets everything clean. This is one, I bought this new and it's some of the best money I ever spent. You can just always have fresh solvent whenever you want it. So I've got one that I built years ago that we use as a pre-cleaner. So the really dirty, oily stuff goes in there first, and then every once in a while I just swap a bucket of it, mash, cycle, and I got fresh here and cleaner over there.
Yeah.
So it works really good. And in here is assembly.
Yeah.
There's enough place for a couple engine motors to assemble motors
Nice
in here.
and bright. Yeah.
Yeah, when this part of the building wasn't here when we moved in, and it was built just for this purpose, so I had them put as many lights as we possibly could in here. And originally they were fluorescent, and I've since swapped them out to LEDs, but
Yeah.
If you're building a motor, you want some visibility. So
For sure.
that's why we did that, and that's been a good move.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And these benches are handmade, and they're tall.
I was gonna say they're a nice level. You know,
Yeah, I'm
you don't
tall,
have to-
so I kind of
yeah.
always wanted benches where I didn't feel like I was stooped over, and
Yeah.
that's how they are. And they got a backstop on them, and they work great for
Yeah.
this type of work.
Yeah. So Pete, since we're in the assembly room, you know, talk a little bit more about some of the engines that you guys typically see.
Yeah, so like I say, I'm known for forced induction type engines and tuning and that type of deal. So we do anything from you know, pretty heavy street stuff to, you know, more exotic billet, either hybrid stuff with cast heads like this, or
Yeah.
just completely billet stuff. And generally speaking, there's quite a few billet blocks of heads in here at any given time. That's always how it is. But
Yeah.
a lot of really high powered stuff is what we kind of do. You
Yeah.
know, we don't do any really circle track or anything like that. Our world is big boost turbo stuff on methanol usually.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome.
Chassis dyno buried in the ground here.
Yeah, I love that it's down.
Yeah.
You know, under the concrete there.
Yeah, at my old shop it wasn't. It was above ground, so we had to have a lift to get up to it.
Oh yeah.
This is a whole lot simpler, quicker to get on, and also
Yeah, people can just drive right up. Yeah.
exactly. And it has the 48-inch rollers, the big rollers, and nowadays, you know, you have people that are big fans of hub dynos.
Hub dyno, yeah.
And those are great to have their place, but the numbers that they put out, in my opinion, are a little skewed. You know, well, this one puts out a real number that makes sense.
Yep. With the tire on.
Yeah, and if you'll notice, mine are completely covered in rubber, right? And that's because the nature of the cars that we work on are usually on sticky tires and have big power.
Yeah.
So this is the only one I've ever seen that's like that. But what that means is I can spray this thing with a little bit of, you know, traction compound,
Yeah.
or a little sticky,
Yeah, replicate the track a little bit.
and we can hook just about anything out here.
Yeah.
And that's very handy because we deal with high power stuff. So.
Yeah.
There's rarely a situation where I can't make it stick. You know,
Yeah.
the only time we ever have trouble is when it's super cold, and then you don't want to be out here anyhow. So,
No, this is a great space here for doing exactly what you're doing with
yeah,
it.
right. And I like these machines because they're inertia. They're very simple. They do the same thing every time. There's you're never worried about whether by load change or something. There's none of that. It's
Yeah.
always the same. You know.
And Pete, when it comes to your tuning, you know, do you guys kind of handle any style of engine?
We
Or is it
do.
mostly just the EFI stuff?
Well, nowadays it's almost all EFI,
Yeah.
and I don't do any what I call factory computer tuning. So if you have a factory style computer, then you're using HP tuners or something. I don't do any of that stuff. Since I moved to Mooresville, I quit doing that, and I do only aftermarket. So Poly, Fuel Tech, you know, and back in the day, used to be a lot of big stuff and XFI and whatnot. Now what I do, you know, at least 80% of it's probably Holly.
Yeah.
And that's what almost everything that comes here is set up that way.
Yeah.
You know.
And then in terms of the, you know, you mentioned you can get some pretty high horsepower cars on the dyno here. You know, what's kind of the low level stuff to what's some
Well,
of the
I
high
mean,
stuff
if it's a
again?
street car like the car you saw in here first thing this morning, it was basically a very close to stock deal, and I don't know what 250 horsepower or something.
Yeah.
So occasionally we do stuff like that, but usually it's turbocharged and quite a bit of power. This thing,
couple thousand.
Yeah, this thing will measure 2,500.
Okay.
And that 2,500 at the wheels, real horsepower,
Yep.
not kind of these inflated numbers. You know, like if you were to put that same thing on a hub dyno, I bet it would show you 35. That's how crazy those machines are.
Yeah.
But this is super repeatable. It's a great machine. You know.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the hub dynos don't have a place, because they do, but for a lot of what we do, these are great.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Well, Pete, again, we really appreciate you taking some time to tour us around the shop. You know, love seeing what you guys have going on here, and very cool to see some of the engines that you guys build. So,
Cool.
Again, appreciate you giving us some time.
Yeah, no, anytime. Sure.
Guys, we appreciate you watching this shop tour of Harrell Engine Dyno. If you guys got questions for Pete or want to know more about his shop, make sure you leave those questions and comments down there in the comment section. Make sure you're checking out everything that these guys have going on. And as always, make sure you're checking out enginebuildermag.com for more engine content. Thanks for watching. See you next time.